Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the money-making world. And let me tell you folks, we've got a doozy of a report today, something that might have investors scratching their heads and asking if this is a new beginning or just a fancy rebrand. So what is the big deal today? Well, it seems like a company you might have known as Nextra Energy Operating Partners LP has decided to switch things up, big time rebranding as XPLR Infrastructure Operating Partners LP. This isn't just a coat of paint though. This is a significant move that could signal a shift in strategy or just a new chapter. Now, the main reason we're diving into this report is because XPLR Infrastructure Operating Partners LP, or XPLR OpCo, as we'll call them, has just issued a whopping $750 million in new debt, specifically 7.75 0% senior unsecured notes that are due all the way out in 2034. That is a lot of money and a lot of time to pay it back. These notes are being issued under an indenture that has been around since 2017. But importantly, they've just been officially created with an officer's certificate dated the 21st of November 2025. Think of the indenture as the rulebook for the debt and the officer's certificate as the official announcement saying, okay, these specific notes are now officially a thing. So why are they taking on this massive debt? It is not explicitly stated in the filing as a specific project, but when a company issues this much debt, it generally means one of a few things. They're either planning major expansion projects, acquiring other companies, refinancing existing debt to get better terms, or maybe they just want a big pile of cash for future uncertainties. Given the substantial amount and long maturity date, it is likely tied to significant future investments, perhaps in more infrastructure projects. The original parent company, XPLR Infrastructure LP, also known as XPLR, has its name on this filing along with XPLR Infrastructure. US Partners Holdings LLC, both of which are providing a senior unsecured guarantee for these notes. This means if XPLR OpCo can't pay back the bondholders, XPLR and XPLR US Holdings are on the hook. It's like having your parents co-sign a loan for you, but on a corporate scale. The notes themselves have some interesting redemption features. XPLR OpCo can pay them back early, but there are strict conditions. Before April 2029, they can redeem them with a make-whole premium, which basically means they pay extra to get out of the deal early. After that, they can redeem them at a slight premium that decreases over time as they get closer to the 2034 maturity date. They can even redeem up to 40% of the notes using money from selling new stock or move, designed to give them flexibility if they can raise capital cheaply. And here is a really interesting kicker. They can also redeem the notes if a tax credit event occurs. This could mean changes in tax laws that make holding this debt less favorable or more favorable to call it back, and perhaps issue new debt with better tax implications. It is a way to manage their tax burden. Now, you might be wondering what this company actually does. XPR Infrastructure LP is publicly traded under the ticker symbol XER on the New York Stock Exchange, so investors can buy and sell their common units. This debt issuance is a pretty big deal for a company of its size as it significantly increases its leverage, meaning the amount of debt it carries relative to its equity. Looking at the exhibits, we see a list of crucial documents: the indenture, the guarantee agreements, and importantly, the officer's certificate creating these new notes. It is a reminder that behind every financial transaction are layers of legal documents ensuring everything is above board. The filing also makes a point to note that former entity names like Nextra Energy Operating Partners LP have been officially changed to their new XPLR counterparts. This signals a clean break from the past and a forward-looking strategy under the new branding. So what does this all mean for XPL? Well, this $750 million debt issuance is a clear signal of ambition and likely significant future investment. The fact that it is unsecured means that bondholders are relying heavily on the company's overall financial health and the guarantees from its parent and subsidiary. The long maturity date of 2034 suggests a belief in long-term stability and profitability for whatever projects this money is funding. However, taking on so much debt also increases risk. If XPLR's projects don't pan out as expected, or if the economic environment turns sour, they could face serious financial strain trying to make those interest payments and repay the principal. The make-whole premiums and tiered redemption prices show they've thought about flexibility, but ultimately they are locking themselves into significant financial obligations for years to come. From a Warren Buffett perspective, you'd want to ask, is this debt being used for projects that will generate consistent and growing cash flows that far exceed the interest payments? The rebranding itself is neutral, but it needs to be accompanied by strong operational performance to justify the influx of new debt. The market will be watching closely to see how XPLR deploys this capital, and whether the new branding translates into tangible business growth and profitability. In conclusion, XPLR Infrastructure is making a bold move with this massive debt issuance signaling a period of potential expansion. While the long-term potential is exciting, investors should keep a close eye on how this debt is managed and how effectively the company leverages these new funds to drive value. Alright, that is our breakdown of XPLR's latest filing. What is your take on this massive debt issuance and the rebranding? What does this signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives, and don't forget to check out our Discord link in the description for more community discussion. Thanks for watching, see you next time.